Hey there, everybody. It is me, Chris Herman, here for another episode of On Deck, filmed, recorded, produced, edited, and published and distributed right here at the Herman Agency in Fort Lauderdale. It's a beautiful day. It's the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. Said that kind of funny. Today's topic is 2022 forecast. And this episode is primarily for my automotive peeps. If you're in the automotive business, the topic 2022 forecast is really about the retail car business and what I think we're going to see this year and what I think dealers are really going to need to focus on in order to be successful. So let's just jump right into it. I got my notes on the back of my card here. So, 2021, what a year, right? If you're talking about profitability for dealers and manufacturers, wow, what a year for them. Just huge money made in 2021. Know a lot of groups, a lot of friends, a lot of people in the business who just had ridiculously good years. So congratulations. That's fantastic. Now, that happened during a year when we actually only retailed 15.1 million new vehicles in the country, which we all know is low. We all know why. The microchip shortage has continued to put pressure on the system in the form of low new vehicle inventory. Dealers had to adjust to that throughout the year. But resoundingly, due to high demand, have really had great years, but it was a year, regardless of what side of the equation you're on, whether you're on the dealer side or in my case on the vendor side. One thing that we definitely did share this year was the 2021 was like we were constantly adjusting, right? We went into the year, I think we thought that things were going to start naturally ramping up. I don't know that any of us really saw this inventory situation hitting us so hard. And quite frankly, for so long. If you think about 2021, first quarter was pretty good. Second quarter is when things really started to kind of come apart from an inventory perspective. And then, we were all in this position of having to use our best guess as to when inventory would return to normal or even start ramping back up. And so I think we went through the summer with this incorrect hope that things were going to get better sooner than they really did or will. And so as a result, 2021 was a year, in my opinion, that many of us were constantly adjusting and responding to what was going on in the supply chain and couldn't really have a clear vision as to what would lie ahead for the remainder of the year until about, at least for us here, kind of around August, September, when it was like, all right, yeah, this situation's for real and it's not going away. So nevertheless, retail automotive sector, huge profitability, great levels of compensation in 2021. And so really interesting how that worked out. Now, here we are in the beginning of 2022, and any of the forecasts that I have seen have suggested 15.4, 15.5 new vehicles sold, 15.5 million rather, new vehicles sold in the year 2022. So an uptick. So that's certainly something to be optimistic and hopeful about. But what I find to be more optimistic and hopeful, what makes me feel more optimistic and hopeful, is that it sure seems like we have a better view on the year. God willing, no major catastrophes, but I think we know at this point in time that the supply chain is taxed and is going to continue to be problematic for probably 2 years, maybe longer, continually getting better. Certainly COVID is not going away, but it seems as though we're starting to learn how to operate in this world a little bit better. And so that, for me, means that 2022 is a year that we can go into and have a more clear strategy as to what we're going to accomplish as an industry. And so do the forecasters, saying that, we're going to do about 15.5 million new vehicles sold. Now, that's no massive jump, but it is an uptick. And there are some brands, and everybody that I talk to, some brands are in better position than others. Sounds like Toyota and Lexus might be in a better position than some of the other manufacturers. Of course, Toyota stole the overall market share volume leader from General Motors for the first time ever. Huge shift there. And so we're going to see some manufacturers do better than others, of course, but everybody's going to kind of be pressing forward. And so I think we can have a more steady and a more stable year, if not a year that gets us back to normal levels. Because what does that mean? Normal levels. If you look through 2022 into 2023, even if the manufacturers are really ramped up and cranking out the inventory, they're just not going to be able to crank out enough to get us back to the levels that we're used to. I think they will over time. Of course, there's a lot of talk now. You talk to anybody in the business and they will say the following: well, dealers and manufacturers have grown more comfortable and accustomed to the lower volume levels because they're more profitable. Manufacturers don't have to incentivize the vehicles like they used to, so they're more profitable. Dealers are able to hold significantly higher margins, so they're more profitable. Of course, everybody is enjoying that, and I think we're going to continue to see that over the next year to 2 years. But I mean, those of us that have been around this business long enough know it only takes one Yahoo manufacturer, one Yahoo dealer in a marketplace to say, screw that, we're going for market share. We're going to try and steal, our share, earn our share, whatever you want to call it. And then it's just only a matter of time before we get back to, incentives kicking in, manufacturers ramping up production, manufacturers putting pressure on dealers to take more inventory. It's not going to happen right away. It's not going to happen this year. May not happen in 2023. But at some point in time, I feel like it's going to come back to, what we've, typically been used to. That being said, what could prevent that? It's not going to be clear heads and cool minds. I think it's going to be, the only thing that would prevent that is if there's other disruptions in the supply chain that just prohibit manufacturers from making more vehicles. But if we can get back to a relatively smooth supply chain, I see over the next 2 to 5 years, dealers and manufacturers and dealers ramping back up to meet what is going to be a prolonged and significant increased customer demand. So what does that mean for 2021? The name of the game has changed. It used to always be about volume on the new vehicle side, hitting your new vehicle objectives. Now it's turn, right? We all know this. It's turn. How quickly can you turn your inventory? And the objective and pressure coming from the manufacturer is what they want to see is a car hits the ground on the dealership lot and it's gone that day, right? That's the deal. So turning 90, 95%, 100% of your inventory every 30 days, that's what they're going to look for. That's what they're going to reward. And that the dealers that are successful in doing that, or the most successful, because it's kind of hard not to sell out of a good bit of your inventory right now, the dealers that are most successful with that are going to be the ones rewarded with the most inventory, right? So while we're experiencing a shift in how the business works, what we, I think, can all see now is that there is a significant need for dealers to attract customers into the pipeline, right? Not from the perspective of let's get them on the lot so we can sell them a car today, but more how do we get customers in to help them reserve, secure, pre-order their vehicle now, so that they can take delivery in 30, 45, 60 days, whatever it is. Like, that's the name of the game right now, is stacking up the pre-orders so that inventory as it's hitting the ground is going right out. That's the deal. Well, I just don't see how dealers can do that by sitting back and just rolling with the natural demand, right? I just don't see that. I really think even in the most modest ways, dealers are going to have to be more aggressive with their marketing strategies this year than they were last year. Last year was just like everybody sort of adjusting to this crazy new scenario. This year we know what the scenario is, and it's stack the pipeline. And if you're not going out there as a dealer to grab those customers to stack them into your pipeline, your competition will be. And so there's no excuse this year to sit back and say we don't need to spend any money marketing. I think that's a very foolish approach. And I realize, of course, it's self-serving. Yes, I run a marketing company that serves the retail automotive business. But, I mean, logic would just tell you that the competition and the competitive nature of the retail automotive space is not going to change, right? Just how it works its way into the transaction is going to change. So what do dealers need to do? Well, as always, dealers need to absolutely maximize their digital footprint. It's no time to take your eye off your website and not have specials and important messaging. It doesn't mean you have to have low discounts or everything, but there needs to be value offered to your customer on your site. You need to tell your customer what they can expect. Okay, the messaging needs to be, get started now. If your lease or loan is up in 30, 60, 90 days, don't wait. Start the process today. Reserve your vehicle. We just put a message out for one of our dealers. You make dinner reservations ahead of time. You make hotel reservations ahead of time. Reserve your vehicle ahead of time, right? These are the types of messages that need to go out to dealers from their website into their paid search campaigns and all of their dig ad. And then, yes, into, let's call it the impression-based space, whether that's OTT, whether that's Facebook and Instagram. If you dip your toe into some zone cable or traditional, you're going to see more dealers getting out there in that space. I don't think you're going to see dealers spending crazy money on it, but there's definitely going to be more competitiveness in the marketing field for dealerships because you got to stack the pipeline. So that's number one. Number two, you've got to source trade-ins, right? You have to source trade-ins. How are you going to do that? Well, you've got to get the message out, right? I mean, we all know this. I mean, for anybody that is at the end of their lease or loan thinking about maybe just getting rid of the car or selling, I mean, for the first time ever, customers can make money getting out of their lease. Everybody that I know has made money getting out of a lease by buying it out and turning it around and selling it to dealers. So dealers are going to have to continue to be competitive sourcing trade-ins. That's an absolute necessity. So what are we saying? We're saying marketing needs to A, fill the pipeline, B, source trade-ins, and 3, promote your service department. Promote your service department. If there was ever a time to keep your customer base close, satisfied, happy, spending money with you while they've got to keep that car on the road for a longer period of time, now's the time. I know you don't have enough technicians, right? So what? Stack it up. Stack up your service department. Stack up your sales department. As Grant Cardone would say, stack the cash. Just stack it, stack it, stack it. Stack your sales department and your sales pipeline. Stack your service department. How do you do that? Again, it's digital and it is some sort of impression-based media, whether that's Facebook, YouTube, OTT, remarketing programs, whatever it might be. Don't take this year and sit back and think that you can just kind of coast through the year on natural demand, because you're going to get your lunch eaten. You will. It's going to happen because dealers are going to start getting aggressive, right? You had a great year last year, but there's going to be many dealers out there that are antsy, that are ready to promote, that are ready to move their business, ready to do what it takes to remain competitive in 2022. And the ones that are doing that are going to be filling the pipeline, they're going to be sourcing trades, and they're going to be promoting their service department. That's it. So now is the time as an automotive dealer to have your shit together when it comes to your marketing strategy. You really, really, really do. Don't wait. Get started. Put these plans into action. Tell your customer what they can expect at your dealership. Let them know. Okay? So 2022 automotive forecast. What are we saying? We're saying 15.4 million new vehicles projected to be sold. So that's a little bit of an uptick. but the marketplace is going to be much more competitive. You got to stack that pipeline for sales and service and source trade. So I hope you all listen to this and really take heed of what I'm saying so that you can generate the most opportunity for your business. Not only that, you'll put yourself in better position to be ready to go as things continue to ramp up. You're not going to have to start the engine up when things have already taken off. You will have been in control of your business through 2022, giving you an advantage going into 2023. So those are my words from the mountaintop today, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Chris Herman, here for another episode of On Deck 2022 Automotive Forecast. If you like this content, if you're getting a lot out of this content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring the bell, like and comment on these videos, share these videos, tell your friends. We're trying to build the biggest audience that we can here, obviously to promote our business, but also in the name of sharing what I hope is meaningful content for each and every one of you so that all of you get something out of this, okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.